Hi, Barb.
Hi, Nance.
Thank you for taking a few minutes today. I asked you to share your thoughts, your insight on the work we've been doing. I think it will be relevant for our viewers.
Absolutely.
To hear this from you, it makes a bigger difference coming from an actual person than me trying to articulate it. So, with that said, can you share a few thoughts on what was it that brought you in?
I came to you because I was really frustrated in my journey. I had realized probably 5 months before I came that I needed to make a change. I wasn't feeling good in my body. I wasn't feeling healthy. And I had made a lot of changes. 5 months worth of watching what I was eating, really upping my exercise. I was always very active and I could not figure out why I wasn't making the progress that I thought I should be making. Everything I read said I should be making progress.
Right.
Why wasn't I?
Right.
So I knew that you would have the answers.
Oh,
and you did.
That's very flattering. Well, one of my taglines is we want to help you find what you've been missing. So how would you describe our process?
So it was a very methodical process, and you really met me where I was. And in order to meet me where I was, you had to find out where I was. And I think one of the most important things was using tools and giving me tools to figure that out. I thought I knew so much more than I actually knew. Your phrase, the difference between what you think you know and what you know, I think was really key for me.
Right.
Looking at things as an average, stating the obvious for me. The whole week matters. It's
Right.
not just about today.
Right. Right. The concept of a cheat day.
Absolutely.
Which I hear a lot, and that's what you see, people trying to, pare down their caloric intake so low, depriving themselves of bread or pasta or whatever, and then letting their hair down.
Thanks, Chris Soper.
And it is beautiful hair, Chris Soper, Washington Street, Campton. But that sense of being more or less unhappy or deprived so many days of the week, restricted, and then saying, well, I deserve this, not understanding the implications of that.
And then letting your hair down, having that cheat day, and then not making any progress and being like, but I was so miserable all week, I deserved this, and still I'm not.
Right.
It was such
one
a
thing if it was
vicious
working. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It didn't even work. It was such a vicious
Right.
circle.
Right.
So I think that was really important to me. Keeping a food diary was helpful. It was helpful when you were able to point out things that, I wasn't eating enough protein.
Right.
No wonder why I was hungry.
Right.
I was,
Or grazing or
the
drawn to.
sneaky bags of nuts, the
Right.
gummy bears, the
Right.
healthy almond butter. I mean, I came in here like, wait till I tell Nancy I switched to no sugar almond butter.
Right.
And I'm still not losing. What's going on here?
Right,
It's
right.
because I was using it, I was eating another meal of almond butter.
Right. I mean, that gets to a point that I really try to drive home early on, is that there are some very highly nutritious foods, but they're also very dense in calories, and
Who knew?
eating more of them does not add more value. It just goes into the surplus, which we're going to
Which is
store
what
for the
we wanna
rainy
get rid
day
of.
that never
Right.
comes. So, like in your case, I think you were surprised to see, how the percentage of your calories that were coming from fat, healthy fat, as good
Right.
as it was, how we could tweak that, almost improve your level of satisfaction, and
Right.
still get you where you want it to be.
Absolutely. Just a whole different mindset. And
Right.
it's not that I don't eat almond butter. If I
Right.
want to have almond butter, I'm going to have almond butter. But I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about, how does it fit into my goals for the day? How does it
Right.
fit into what I'm going to be able to do? Am I going to be able to exercise? Am I not going to exercise? Being healthy is the most important thing for me. And I didn't want to deprive myself all the time so that I could eat what I wanted. I wanted to learn how to eat what I wanted, but yet maintain and be healthy.
Right, and be happy.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
Make
Where-
the calories count.
Right, we'll say, you want those beers this week, and let's figure it out.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes it sustainable. I want to go back to one of your points about MyFitnessPal, which is a hugely valuable
Mm-hmm.
tool, and you've been awesome in using it. Some people will take it and stick with it forever, but the real value is when somebody comes in. We can determine that there is a calorie surplus. Most clients don't see where it's coming from.
Right.
Even if we just sit down and say, what if you did these things? I think the most impressive exercise, not physical exercise, but the tasks that we do, is to help you see, wow, I had no idea. Like you say, the gap between what you think and what you know. I should point out, we've been working together for a few months now, and another thing I want people to realize, this doesn't have to be a few times a week, an hour to
Right.
pop. After our initial 1 or 2 sessions where they were pretty in depth, we've been meeting every 2 weeks for about a half hour.
Right.
And it's, I think, as you mentioned earlier, the accountability.
It's the accountability, but for me, it's been a different accountability from previous weight loss attempts where you're dreading the weight day, you feel like you're going in, someone's going to stand at the scale with their arms crossed and shake their head at you, and I feel like you're a partner with me. I feel that you have really come alongside me and said, we're going to figure this out. And there have been days where I haven't lost or I've gained, and I've never felt judged. I felt like, okay, that's okay. This is life. We're working this together,
Let's
and we're
figure it
going to
out.
get to a goal. And
Right.
that is key, and it's what you're not getting in some of these big programs.
Right. Well, 12 pounds down. Pretty damn
That's
good. Sustainable, Barbara?
Absolutely. I have not changed who I am as a person, and that's important to know because I never was going to change, and I think that's, everybody thinks, oh, I'm just going to eat salad. If you don't like salad, you're not going to eat salad.
Right.
You have taught me to be mindful of what I'm eating, to be able to maintain true to who I am, how I feel comfortable, not feel cheated. I go out, I have fun. I'm not dreading life. I'm not dying for the weekend.
You're not holding back from
Nope.
participating.
I'm just being mindful of it and aware and considering it as a whole. One bad day does not a whole
Right.
week make bad.
There you go.
So,
Well, thank you
very
so
good.
much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, Barb. Talk to you again.
All right.